Alright, so this is going to be a short tutorial on the KMS glitch in Duck Life Battle. This is a very important glitch. On its own it takes around 30 minutes in the speedrun, and an hour and a half long speedrun, so it is very important to learn if you want to learn the game. But first of all, we're actually going to start here, this is what you get whenever you open up the game on PC. Clarify, this is going to be a glitch. This glitch is possible on the consoles, but mainly people play on PC, as it's better currently because of another glitch. But we're gonna look at X, which is the controller button for pausing. It actually has to be the controller way of pausing and not with your keyboard. They're actually two different pauses. But I put mine to insert. You can really put it to whatever you want, and you don't technically need to do this, but I do find it helps rather than picking up my controller like every time I need to do it, which you do it a lot. And also, it for me at least, it helps with spamming it, which is useful in a few of the mini games. So now that we've gone into the game, I'm going to head over to the training. Now, I do have an input display to input arrow key inputs and the button I'm using for gamepad pausing. But so we're gonna look at first health chemistry. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to run off the edge, and so that's what happens normally, right? So now if you spam that for around a second just before you're about to die, most of the time it will cause KMS. Sometimes it might not work and you can just try again. But this, as you can see, essentially slowly gives you levels. This is actually normally around slightly faster than what you'd normally be getting, but you don't have to risk dying, which is much better. Means you can essentially always get through it without dying ever. Though some KMSs are a bit different, so we're going to look at, first of all, defense KMS. This one is actually being implemented for a no early fire gun, but we don't need to worry about that. But so essentially, as you can see, I've KMS'd, but I can still play the game. I can still play the mini game effectively, but if we die, it stops. So now if we double click pause again and then let it go through again, it will resume. So you'll have to do that pretty much every time you die. So always be ready to do that in some mini games. There's not that many mini games that can happen, since a lot of them stop spawning things that can kill you, after you die. But so yeah. So now we're going to So there is so speed KMS is a bit different. It is pretty weird. Essentially, you pause, you do that, and now you spam these keys normally around 2 at a time. And it's a pretty slow KMS. But if you weren't able to do this, but essentially you spam keys, so you can still get points for it. And some mini games like this one give you points whenever you complete something. So, like as you can see, like if I were to play this normally, and then so if you look up there, speed, we're getting points for speed. And generally, you either want to spam 2 buttons at once or 1 button at once. But yeah, generally you always want to be spamming something to try to get extra points during that minigame. So now, that's somewhat of the basics, right? Now, we're actually Yeah, so that's pretty much it. A lot of the minigames, like for example, farm power, don't actually work with KMS. Like they sort of work like this, but first of all, it's egregiously slow, and your hitbox is also, I think, messed up, so you can't really actually play the minigame. So there's really no point of doing it. Some KMSs just don't work at all. But yeah, that's essentially it. So yeah, that was a quick tutorial on the KMS glitch. Also, do note that when you're in the city, um, for some reason, a lot of the KMSs are changed in how they work or how much they actually are giving you. Like a lot of them are a lot slower in city for some reason than they are where you naturally find them. But that's not really something you have to worry about. Yeah. Hope this helped you learn this glitch, and I'll come out with another Friday tutorial soon.